Right.
And when I hear people say, "Oh man, my vote don't count. It's rigged," or "Man, what can we say?"
Let me tell you that. Well, one way to think about this is there are people who, when they hear that, they're like, "Yeah, we got them.
We got them.
Huh? Come on.
Yep.
We got them. All right.
Come on.
They're not gonna show up.
Come on.
They think it's rigged. They think their vote don't count.
Come on.
Good.
Right.
Prove them wrong. They want you to think that. That's part of the game.
Right.
They set you up and you fulfilling it, So
We had some people in the county that won by like 3 votes.
Right.
Yeah. 7 votes.
33 votes.
Yes.
Every vote does count, especially in the local elections. All politics are local.
Yes.
I mean, I know that. I can't say I believe it. I know it. All politics are local. And this is, you have access to your electorate, your officials. They shop where you shop. They worship where you worship. They're approachable. And if they're not, then you don't vote for them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's sad. It's sad to me. And the one thing you just said, Mahasan, about it being local. We put so much emphasis on the presidential election, right? We'll turn out all over the country for the presidential election, but we won't turn out for those individuals who make laws that affect us every day.
The president don't have nothing to do with whether the trash is picked up once or twice a week.
Thank you. Nothing. Nothing. President had nothing to do with me having to move over for the yellow lights. Like that's a new law. Like move over. President don't set that law. The local election, our legislators are more involved with our day-to-day life living that to me is almost more important to me. Who set the sentences for my son? Who set those criminal penalties for my child that just now threw a rock in that window? Do he go to jail? That's local.
You talk about mass incarceration, for example. Do you know that the federal prison system is only about 10%? The rest is state. So, folks talk about issues like that, and it's really arguably 90% a local state issue problem.
Right.
Yeah. People just have to understand that it just takes time to see change. It's not something that can be done overnight. The Justice Reinvestment Act didn't happen in one term.
No, certainly did not.
I mean, it took a long time for it to happen. So it's a process, and we're in a society now where it's immediate gratification. Everything's at your fingertips. We want to know an answer, we go straight to our cell phones.
Right.
But the world doesn't work like that. It takes time. And so when people say their vote doesn't matter, it matters. You just might not see the effects of it until year 2 and 3 or 4, probably, maybe even 5.
And I think something that Eric Byron said that's important is that the other side wants us to think like that.
Yep.
Like I used to think like that when I was younger and more I guess a rebel or whatever it was. I used to think like that is because I didn't know. I never participated in the process before, and I didn't know how real it was. But now I know how real it is. So it's like when I sit back and I be like, bruh, how you think Trump got in office? Because we didn't get out and vote. That's why Trump is in office. He's in office because we thought Hillary was going to get a smooth sailing into there, and we did not go in and vote, and he got in office. But the thing about it that disturbs me the most is the ones that don't want us to vote, we doing their job for them.
Yeah.
We doing exactly, to me, I feel like it's reverse psychology. Like, we don't want them fools to think that their vote counts. So guess what? We're going to get high, we're going to get drunk, we're going to do what we do, and we're not going to participate.
But they'll go to the Beyonce and Jay-Z concert.
All day. All day. All day, every day. Let's bring it up to local elections. We got 20 minutes left. Let's talk about current elections. I want to start on the county level. Let's start with you, Mahasan. What is your expectation for the person well, I don't have to say the person. Well, yeah, the person elected to the Prince George County county executive.
Oh my gosh. I know that Miss Brooks is going to do a phenomenal job. I am sure she's going to put appoint people in her cabinet that will move this county forward. We have a lot of growth. I have an issue with the fact that we weren't even in we didn't make the short list for Amazon. Like, I'm talking about the short list. You have.
Why do you have that issue? Our schools are horrible.
But no, there's an issue with that. I have an issue. So you have.
Okay, I got
you
it.
have Montgomery County. You have a whole. You just
it.
have Northern Virginia. You just have a whole you they don't even give a city. Just and then D.C. and then Prince George County is left out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the issue? And I feel that. And I know that Angela also Brooks is going to pay attention to that and bring these resources that we need in the county to the county so we can be an active bidder on such projects, you know. And one of the things that I like about Angela and her platform is she's recognized that it's just not the teachers in the school system. It's a holistic approach. It's the households. You know, what's going on with the families. You know, we can send our kids to school all day long, but when they come home, who's reinforcing what the kids are learning, or who's coming to the parent-teacher conferences? You know, who's being active? So I know that Angela's going to do a great job, and I'm looking forward to working with her.
So what do you say to those of us, right, who are critics that believe that she would be pretty much more in favor of the developers? Like, talk to me. Like, that was one of my things. I felt like, dang, man, you know what? It's going to be another thing where as though the developers going to come in and just do what they want to do.
But
what could you say about Angela's integrity?
I think she has more than 100% integrity. But what I would want to ask you is, when you say she's for the developers or you want things for us, what are you asking for?
So in terms of that is, I want development. But I want us to also get our fair share, as in like schools, right? Mm-hmm. We constantly building apartments and bringing in bodies and children, but we're not keeping. I don't believe anyway. I don't know if it's factual, but I don't believe that we're keeping up to the pace of building new schools for these children. My son's class has 28 to 30 students in his class. Like, if you're gonna come in and build up, that's fine. We got dirt. No problem. We got dirt for you, but guess what? We're going to hold your foot to the fire to say, hey, you got to provide this. We need this. We need these schools. We need that and that. That's
I agree. I went to a school, that I graduated with 900 other people in the senior class.
Okay.
So my school was overcrowded. It hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't. And from when I've heard her speak, you know, she understands the issue. You know, my sister, she's running for re-election for the school board. She understands the issues. We're constantly developing these townhouses. You know, if we're gonna build up, we do need to have more schools.
Yeah.
I concur with that statement.
Even with like even our returning citizens, like we need some of them jobs. You know, like I don't know if she can put in a contract and say, hey, listen, we need 5% of these jobs to go to our returning citizen population. I don't know if that can be done or not legally, but I'm just saying things like that. I don't think Rashawn had any. Mr. Byron, talking about the governor's race, right? How can we help Ben? Well, we're pretty much here now. How can we help Ben Jealous get elected?
We have to. We were talking about the importance of voting earlier, and it has to get to the point where not only are we voting, your listeners voting, but like it's peer pressure. Like, after Monday Night Football on Tuesday morning, you going into work and it's like, did you see that game?
Right.
And you feel dumb if you ain't see it, because everybody saw it, or everybody watched the highlights. It's got to be to that level where, you want to make sure you voted, if only because, like, you're going to hear from it, from your family, your friends. Like, we